If you want to lose weight and successfully keep it off, you should know that the way that you start your day is very important. Let's say, for example, you take some bad advice and make the mistake of having a tall glass of orange juice first thing every morning. You're going to find it a lot harder to lose any weight at all. But just like there's mistakes that you can make that'll slow your weight loss and even make you gain weight, there are also things that you can do every single morning to speed up your fat loss and exponentially increase your chances of actually keeping that weight off. So today I want to give you guys the 5 most effective things that you should do every single morning right after you wake up in order to help you burn fat faster. And first I want to start with breakfast. A few years ago, breakfast was known almost unanimously as the most important meal of the day, and mainstream fitness programs and diet plans back then would never even suggest the idea of skipping breakfast. Without breakfast, it was believed that you would slow down your metabolism, lose muscle mass, and make your body more susceptible to gaining and storing fat. However, since then, other diet plans have become more mainstream, and some of these plans specifically recommend that you actually consider skipping breakfast entirely. One of these plans, for example, is known as intermittent fasting, and studies have shown that it's at least just as effective for fat loss and muscle retention as other continuous energy restriction type diet plans that don't make you skip meals. But at the same time, a number of other studies have found that people that eat breakfast usually have a lower body mass index, and they're less likely to be overweight and obese than people that skip breakfast. Research has also shown that skipping breakfast may be associated with other poor diet choices. Now, the problem with many of these studies that are finding a correlation between not having breakfast and having a higher BMI is that they're observational studies, which means that it's hard to attribute the weight gain or the weight loss directly to breakfast, because somebody that wakes up early in the morning to have breakfast, they might also be doing a daily run. They might be eating better quality food. They might be lifting weights at the gym more often, and a number of other things that help them maintain a healthy weight. We can get much more information from a randomized control trial, and luckily there was a recent meta-analysis that compared 13 randomized control trials on the effects of breakfast in relation to body weight. And researchers concluded that adding breakfast into your diet plan may do nothing in terms of helping you lose weight, and in fact, adding in breakfast might cause you to gain weight. In this systematic review, they found that breakfast eaters consumed more daily calories and weighed slightly more than those that skip breakfast. So does that mean that everybody should start skipping breakfast right away? Definitely not. After looking through all these different studies and working with many different people myself, I think it's pretty clear that having breakfast might be really beneficial for some people while being detrimental to others. If you find it easy to skip breakfast without getting ravenously hungry and binging on everything in sight later on in the day, then skipping breakfast can help you save some calories and burn fat a little faster. On the other hand, if you feel that breakfast helps you stay on track, it's important that you stick to a breakfast that's high in protein and vegetables to help fill you up and decrease your appetite. Let's move on to the next thing you can start using every morning to help you burn fat faster, and that's apple cider vinegar. Now, I want to say right off the bat that I'm not a big fan of detoxes or cleanses, and I'm not for 2 reasons. The number 1 reason is because between your liver, your kidneys, lungs, and your skin, your body already has everything it needs to effectively cleanse itself. And it's very unlikely that you're going to make this natural cleansing process better than it already is. The second reason is because most of the ingredients in cleanses and detoxes are not backed up by any scientific research, and they're not in any way proven to work. However, apple cider vinegar is different because there's a growing body of research that shows that it may actually help promote fat loss. Some studies show that apple cider vinegar can increase fullness and curb your appetite. They also show that if you have apple cider vinegar after a high carb meal, you can decrease blood glucose and insulin levels, which could help promote fat loss. The effect that vinegar could have on fat loss was seen more clearly in a study that involved around 150 obese Japanese people and lasted 12 weeks. In that 12-week time period, the placebo group made no changes to their diet or exercise program, and they gained about a pound. Meanwhile, the group that didn't change their diet and didn't change their exercise habits as well, but simply added 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar per day, that group lost almost 4 pounds and 1% off their body fat. Now, I don't recommend that you just sit around drinking apple cider vinegar without changing your diet and without exercising like they did in this study. You'll see a lot more results when you combine the vinegar with a solid diet and workout plan. But to help speed up fat loss, you can start incorporating 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar every morning. Just make sure it's diluted in 8 ounces of water. You can also have another tablespoon later on in the day before a meal, but I recommend starting with just 1 tablespoon per day and then increasing after you see how your body reacts. Next, I want to talk about if following the common advice of weighing yourself every morning can help speed up fat loss. Many people claim that weighing themselves every morning motivates them and helps them to stay focused on their goals, while others say that it demotivates them and sometimes even leaves them feeling depressed and disgusted in themselves. Studies, however, seem to side with those that weigh themselves more frequently. One study in which people were tracked for 2 years showed that people that weighed themselves every single day lost an average of about 10 pounds. Meanwhile, the people that weighed themselves once a month or less gained an average of almost 5 pounds. The graph that can be drawn from this study shows a clear relationship between weighing yourself more often, losing more weight, and keeping more of that weight off in the long run. Of course, there are some studies that don't find such strong evidence for what looks like a linear relationship, but one systematic review that looked at 12 studies on this topic found that 11 out of 12 of the studies supported the theory that weighing yourself more often is associated with greater weight loss and greater weight gain prevention. This evidence makes it clear that the strategy of weighing yourself every morning can help a lot of you burn fat faster. But even though these studies point to most people benefiting from a daily weigh-in, weighing yourself every day definitely doesn't work best for everyone. In fact, these studies themselves say that there are some negative psychological consequences that may come with the daily weigh-in. For example, having more carbs or more salt for just one day can cause large fluctuations in your water weight the next day or even the day after that. Even though this fluctuation is only temporary, if you get obsessive about what the scale says every day, you could find yourself stressing more and losing motivation just because of one bad weigh-in. I've seen clients that have become so demotivated by just one bad weigh-in on the scale that they would become convinced that the entire diet and workout plan wasn't working. Many times when this happens, people start skipping their workouts and start binge eating since they think that the plan's not working anyway. So the bottom line answer is yes, weighing yourself every morning can help you self-monitor your progress and stay on track. However, if weighing yourself daily causes more anxiety and negative feelings rather than more motivation, then you should aim to weigh yourself less often, like around once a week. Let's move on because I want to talk about exercise. For those of you that struggle with getting yourself into the gym or with getting yourself to exercise in general, you should absolutely start every morning with a workout. I can't stress enough how important this is. If you're not consistently exercising every week, then you're gonna have trouble losing weight and even more trouble maintaining any sort of weight loss. Even though you constantly hear that more than 75% of what you look like is diet and only 25% is attributable to exercise, studies show that they're both extremely important. Not only is consistent exercise just as important as having a good diet, but your diet and exercise habits both highly influence each other as well. For example, if you wake up in the morning and eat a donut, you're more likely to feel less motivated, hungry, and tired later on in the day, and that could easily cause you to choose to skip your workout. On the other hand, if you start your morning with a workout, as soon as you're finished, you'll feel a ton of motivation to continue making other healthy choices and decisions throughout the rest of the day, including making the right choices with what you choose to eat. Even though some studies show that you can burn more fat just by working out first thing in the morning before breakfast, the number one reason why I recommend it for most people is because it'll guarantee that you're actually gonna get your workout done. Most people will find 100 excuses at the end of a long day of work to not get their workout in. But when you plan and set aside time first thing in the morning, most of these excuses disappear. You want to make exercise into a habit, and according to studies, it takes about 2 months of repetition to create a habit. By associating waking up and working out together, it'll be a lot easier to solidify this behavior into a habit. Even if you don't have access to a gym, there are some really simple things that you can do to make exercise a part of your morning routine. You can go out for a run or a brisk walk, or you can just do bodyweight exercises without even leaving your house. A quick example workout would be 10 dive bombers or push-ups if the dive bombers are too difficult, 10 prisoner squats, 10 skydivers, and 10 lunges with each leg. You would do all the exercises back to back, take a break, and repeat that for 3 to 4 sets. Believe it or not, starting off with some simple bodyweight exercises like these every morning can provide a ton of forward momentum that'll help you actually start completing your workouts, and that'll motivate you to stick to a healthier diet plan in the long run. The bottom line is that if you're struggling with staying consistent with exercise, try to start with a quick workout in the morning, because you'll be surprised just how much it can help. The last thing you should do every morning, unless you're on, like, let's say a 1 meal a day diet, is pack food to bring with you. You should bring enough homemade food to last you for whatever amount of meals you plan to eat outside the house. One study showed that eating meals that are prepared outside your home is associated with taking in more calories, and it's associated with a higher fat intake. Another study showed that the more home-cooked meals you eat, the less likely you are to be overweight. I agree with the findings from both of these studies, because out of all the clients that I've worked with, the ones that would take the time to prep their meals would usually do much better than the clients that would just wing it. You see, when you get hungry, you start looking for easy ways to satisfy that hunger. If you don't have a healthy pre-portioned meal with you, then you're very likely to grab something unhealthy. Even if you order some chicken breast and rice from a local restaurant, you have no idea what else is being added to that meal. You can easily wind up with a couple hundred extra calories just from added sugar and fat by having someone else prep it for you. On top of all that, there's a high chance that you just buy a snack instead of a meal, and most of the time that snack will have a lot of empty calories that just don't fill you up. If you either prep yourself a portioned meal to take with you every morning, or prep it the night before and pack it with you every morning, you'll find yourself burning fat much faster than relying on other people to prep it for you. That's it, guys. I really hope this video has helped you out, and if it has, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I release new free tips and tricks just like the ones that you found in today's video. Also, if you're looking for a done-for-you approach that'll help you lose weight fast by making the right decisions not only every morning, but every day for the next 6 weeks, then try my 6-week challenge, where my clients are losing either 20 pounds or 5% of their body fat in only 42 days. You'll get a customized meal plan, a 42-day workout plan, and an accountability coach to help guide you through the entire process on a daily basis. The best part is that the challenge is free, but there is a catch, and the catch is that you actually have to stick to the plan. If you're serious about making a transformation in the next 42 days and you want more than just another diet and workout plan that'll just sit there gathering dust because you never actually did it, if you're actually instead looking for a real challenge, then click the link below in the description to find out more about how our program works. Or you can just visit the website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.